From the beginning of slavery, there has been resistance to slavery. Slavery was not inevitable. It was not the obvious choice. It was not just the way things were back then. From the beginning, there were many voices pointing out the wrongness of slavery, and enslaved African Americans were pushing against the societal structures that kept them enslaved. By 1865, it will have been 246 years since the first enslaved people arrived in the U.S. It's only been 160 or so years since slavery was abolished, meaning it will be almost 100 more years before our nation's history will be longer without slavery than with it. And also, slavery and racism were man-made. It's terrible. Human beings manufactured differences between each other and then hatred for those differences to serve their own desires for wealth and power. There's also a small part of me that makes me hopeful, because if we created it, then we can also deconstruct it. But it takes acknowledgement, especially on the part of white Americans, to understand that slavery didn't just happen, which means that it also can't just end with a proclamation or a constitutional amendment. Slavery was an elaborate and complex structure that was built over hundreds of years. It was the prison I referenced in an earlier episode. This massive complex included the legal system, government at all levels, economics, cultural discrimination, and societal exclusion. And just because over the course of this series, Black Americans will be unshackled from the walls of that structure doesn't mean it's going to be over. Even after slavery will end in the 1860s, they will still live inside that complex structure that we built. And over the late 19th and the 20th century, we're going to slowly work to take apart that building. But to think that it's completely gone is to ignore history. So let's keep learning. Let's keep working. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.